Welcome to the Group of Death, the Spacing Guild. This video is going to be an absolute blast because three of the biggest giants in DUNE Imperium Uprising and Bloodlines are going head to head in this game. And poor JB Fearless is going to have to, upset these three giants. The three giants in this game that I'm talking about are as follows. We have blah blah blah, the winner of the third DUNE Imperium Invitational. We have RL Agent, a repeat finalist at two of the DUNE Imperium Invitationals, and we have Priceless, a repeat top 16 finisher in the DUNE Imperium Invitationals. So three of the biggest giants known for their different playstyles are going to be fighting in this group stage game, and only two of these players out of these eight players in the spacing guild are going to be progressing on to the playoffs and the knockout bracket. So I wish each of these four players good luck, and I wish JB Fearless an even bigger piece of luck because he may need it in order to upset these giants in the spacing guild. Anyways, with that, let's get into the game and let's see who ends up coming out on top. Let's get into it. We have Fearless JB, Oral Agent, blah blah blah, and Priceless. If I was Fearless here, I'm pretty fearful because I'm playing against three of the biggest names in DUNE Imperium Uprising. So let's take a quick look at this row here. We have Piter de Vries, which is pretty nice. We have Ecological Classification, which isn't that great, but it's a nice card that I have added in for my mod. Unswerving Loyalty could be useful. Maybe if somebody gets some Fremen bonds going, but typically it's not going to be picked up. Space Time Folding, not a bad card with some sort of spice slows later on. And Desert Power, a nice little 6-coster. Probably one of the most underrated 6-costers here. There is some considerations for maybe buying Desert Power over Piter de Vries if you do get the option to, but that's fine. In terms of the contracts here, we have some nice contracts. We have a sorry, let's take a quick look at this tech right here as well. We have glow globes, we have invasion ships, and we have nav chamber. So I definitely think glow globes is gonna get picked up early, and nav chamber might be considered. We also have these contracts. We have a harvest. Is that a harvest 4 contract? And then we have a spice refinery for 2 draw. So definitely 2 contracts that might be picked up, especially in an A-tier game, right? In an A-tier game, there's going to be a lot of times where players are going to be able to generate spice off their leaders. As a matter of fact, there's only one leader in this game that can generate 1 spice on her ability, and that is Elise Kaz. So she might be interested in picking up the 4 spice contract. The other leaders, not so much, but also there's a nice little desert power on the row. So if whoever gets desert power would be more than happy to pick up a strong contract like the Harvest 4. Spice Refining for draw is also a nice contract. So let's see what happens. We have RL Agent sitting in first position with Elise Kaz. We have Blah 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 sitting in second position with Prince Rumber Vernius. We have Priceless sitting in third position with Staban. And Fearless JB in fourth position with Hasimir Fenring. So pretty good choices here. I like the Elisa pick there. I like the Rumber pick there because of invasion ships. You can definitely get some negotiators down, and then eventually hammer the combat with like an invasion ships buy with your signet ring, because a Rumber signet ring does allow him to straight up just buy troops off his signet ring, right, with invasion ships, which is very nice. It's like a pseudo highliner in a way. Staban 2 from Priceless, just some standard Priceless gaming. He's just gonna look to get lucky, right? And as long as Staban gets a pretty strong card, he's gonna be playing with like an 8-card deck, which is huge. Okay. RL Agent opens with Spice Refinery. There is a Driven out on the row, so this makes complete sense. He puts aside I believe he put aside a dagger, right? And he probably wants to go like Assembly Hall to buy Driven and buy like Piter or something. Seems like the plan. I was expecting RL to maybe buy the Harvest 4 contract, but also I can understand Driven he prioritizes Driven a lot. Staban has a Signet Ring in his hand. He also has Seek Allies in his hands. Where does he go? I mean, from what I've known, with talking to some of these best Staban players in the game, it seems like going to Haga Basin, putting a spy on, say, Assembly Hall is typically the line, and then you probably just go to Dutiful Service or Deliver Supplies. Okay, he's gonna put the spy on Swordmaster instead of Assembly Hall. Okay, sure. Puts in 1 troop in here. I assume he's probably gonna pick up his Seek Allies to probably Dutiful Service or Deliver Supplies and pick up a commander if he gets the opportunity to. Fearless goes in at Eric Keen, deploys 3 in. This is going to be an assembly hall play from RL Agent, gets a spice, fantastic, and he picks up a nice little intrigue there, right? Being able to trash a card after recalling a spot is huge. I mean, to be fair, just getting a trash is huge, right? He's gonna have 5 persuasion. Probably, I would assume he probably wants to buy Pyre Debris. Ooh, Bob goes to accept contract and finds a Seacal as probably not the ideal draw for him. Ends up, let's see what contract he picks up. Does he go Spice Refinery? Does he go Harvest 4? Does he think he's gonna Harvest 4? I would think Spice Refinery, right? If he had 6 persuasion, then sure, I might have considered buying the Harvest 4 contract, but he does not have 6 persuasion. We're gonna have a dutiful service play from Staban Tuvik here. He's gonna start getting his commander. He's gonna pick up Hardy here instead of, well, I guess there's not many better options, right? It's had to be Hardy here. He's gonna pick up Hardy. Nobody's really interested in going like hooks right now, so I think Hardy is probably the correct choice. What does Fearless do? Fearless is gonna go to tactics. He's gonna trash his recon from his play, and he looks like he's gonna throw in 4 troops in his combat. Wow, huge. Dang. Okay. I mean, he does win this combat. He gets probably a second bump on Fremen, and next round he can probably play like something like Assembly Hall into like either I don't know, probably not Assembly Hall. Maybe he goes like Dutiful Deliver Supplies, picks up the commander, and then goes Siege with the Signet Ring. I don't hate that. That seems like an okay line. As expected, RL Agent ends up picking up Pyre Debris for a nice little 5-coster. Ecological Testing Station bought from Baba Law here. Nice. Finally, a new mod in the Colosseum format. So we're gonna see if Bob can put good use to this card. Priceless picks up just a simple Prepare the Way, and Aura and Fearless somehow gets a Desert Power, a huge card. I don't even know why you would buy Desert Power there over Price is No Object. I like Price is No Object is objectively the better pick there. I guess the only reason why I could say Fearless buying a Desert Power is because there's 2 Harvest contracts on the row, and unless he wants to target both of those Harvest contracts, it's good, but also like in a way, Desert Power only has 1 access, which is to desert spaces, while Price is an Object gives you access to two other spaces, Benny and Spacing. Sorry, Benny and Emperor, which are objectively half a point each time you play them. Price is an Object also gives you Solari on play, gives you Solari on not on play, gives you Solari on purchase, and gives you Solari on reveal. So I think maybe that might have been a mistake from Fearless. And let's see. I mean, I assume Bob is probably gonna try to hit 6 persuasion, and Bob just keeps finding his. And Bob goes Spice Refinery, draws 2 cards, and draws horrendous. Unfortunate for Bob. He's probably gonna have to go Fremkit and maybe try to hit 6 persuasion if he can, but we'll see. I don't like going to. I don't like buying Desert Power there over Price is an Object. I think Price is an Object gives you the instant Solari, which is actionable compared to having to try to stack up on Harvest contracts and then trying to get the and then trying to get the other things done. Oh, sorry, and then trying to get like the actual harvest done. Okay, Price is not Price. Priceless here finds his Signet Ring yet again. Is probably gonna play it again. Let's see what happens here. 2 Solari from Staban, not Staban, Hasimir. He's gonna end up buying Charismatic here. I mean, I don't hate Charismatic. I don't hate Hardy. Both of them are perfectly fine. Oh, Siege Tubber from Elise Kaz. She has forgotten to put aside a card. Does she does she put aside a card? I mean, okay, she puts aside a diplomacy. Fair enough. Elise Kaz gets a full space, or should be getting a full space. Deploys in a total of 3 troops in this combat. Okay, fair enough. So very nice intrigue from RL there. He actually didn't use it for this recall spy effect. He actually used it to straight up just get hooks and siege, which is fantastic because now he doesn't have to ever worry about getting worms, right? Or not worms. He doesn't have to ever worry about possibly getting worms because, well, he just gets the option instantly. In the case that nobody goes to Haga Basin, RL Agent does have the ability to go to something like Haga Basin and spawn a worm and maybe win the combat. We're gonna see a Fremkit, and unfortunately, blah 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 misses his 6 persuasion. Cannot find his other convincing argument. There was a 1 in, I believe 1 in 4 chance of him finding it. So if he found it, it would have been huge, but unfortunately, did not find it. We're gonna see gather support from Staban Tuik. He's probably gonna buy another commander. He's at this point, it's probably gonna be Fierce because RL Agent is most likely gonna be going to Warming, right? And he is gonna be buying Fierce. Okay, fantastic. Now, Saban Tuik has 2 starter cards already and has Glow Globes, which is probably going to get him a bump. Oh, is he going to buy Glow Globes or is he going to pass up on it? Let's see. He has 2 Spies down, both on green right now. I mean, if I was Saban Tuik, I would consider buying Glow Globes, right? It's just a bump. You get to know the top card of your deck. He goes up an Emperor, which is fantastic. I'd probably do the same. Um, Not because there's a loyal or anything, but also it's simply because, well, it gives you access to privilege, right? And you're in position 3. Getting access to privilege is kind of nice. Okay, Fearless blocks the Haga Basin play from RL Agent. Wow, that is interesting. I mean, could have gone Assembly Hall. Could have gone. He does have 2 daggers, to be fair. He could have gone Eric Keen. I don't know. I don't know if I like the block from Fearless here. I guess it's not bad. It does slow down RL in a way, but RL's fine with just going to like, I don't know. Probably it seems like he's probably gonna go tactics. It looks like gonna go tactics, trash a dagger from discard. Yeah. All right. The question is, does RL want to win this combat? How much did he deploy? I mean, he knows. He knows. I mean, but most of the players are deploying for exactly more than 2 swords here. Well, maybe more than 2 swords, right? But he knows that everybody's got 2 daggers here. He didn't know Bob had 2 daggers. He didn't know, but he knew. I think he knew Fearless was holding 2 daggers. Also, Staban, he could have had 1. He could have had 2, but it seems like he's gonna have 2. So 5 persuasion here. Unfortunately, missed 6. Sucks for Bob, but that's okay. I'm sure he'll be all right. He ends up picking up Keys to Power, which is an interesting buy given given the fact that he has 0 influence on Emperor. So good luck, Bob, on figuring out your Emperor influence. What does Staban buy here? Does Staban buy a Prepare the Way, or does he just not buy anything because he wants to try to find like prices an object next round, and then if he finds prices an object next round, then he basically sees infinite Solari for the rest of the game? Fearless has 2 daggers, and he buys a Prepare the Way. Okay, next round, Fearless does have the option of playing his Desert Power. I think if I was Fearless, I would have considered buying the. I would have gone maybe accept contract and bought one of the contract cards because again, you have Desert Power, right? So you're definitely going to be in a position to pick up one of those harvest contracts at some point. And I think denying RL the worm there was just a lack of tempo. My personal opinion, obviously, he'll probably tell me in the comments in the case that he does talk about it in the comments. So everybody's going to be having a lot of persuasion here, except for again Bob. Bob seems to be having a little struggle on the persuasion side. RL's probably going to be playing his Seek Allies in Fold Space. He's probably going to draw some cards to get some persuasion going. Bob, no idea what he's going to be doing. RL, not RL. Priceless is most likely just going to be playing for Price an Object. He's probably going to go Spice Refinery here, right? Get some troops into the combat, easy deploy. Looks like it. Yep, he's going to put in 4 troops in. This combat is very good for him because not only does it get him Solari, it also gets him his troops back for deploying all his troops right now. No face cam on this video, unfortunately, because I'm a little bit sick. So I want to save you guys the um, the trouble of having to look at my face. Anyways, let's go on to Fearless here. What does Fearless do? Does Fearless go tactics? Does Fearless go? What does Fearless do? If I was Fearless, I'm going contracts. Like, I mean, you have Desert Power. You have to justify the buying that Desert Power, right? Overpriced an object. And the easiest way to justify it is by purchasing contracts. If you aren't buying contracts here, then what are you doing? He's going dutiful service. I mean, so he's going deliver supplies, but it's not like it's getting water. I guess he wants to go Haga eventually for spice. Yeah, I don't fully understand what Fearless is particularly doing. I think Price and Object would have been fantastic for him, right? In this case, he would have probably just had 2 more Solari, which would have gotten like more commanders, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, RL Agent ends up picking up a what is that Harvest contract? Chooses to get the Harvest 3 contract instead of the Harvest 4. Probably is not going to be harvesting the 4. Sorry, that is a Harvest 4 contract. Oops. He just wants the Spy instead of the Solari, which makes sense. So everybody's getting hooks right now. RL already has hooks because he played. What was the intrigue called? I forgot the intrigue name, but he played that intrigue. Um, Staban goes to High Council and is probably going to be revealing 4 prices in the object. And he's probably going to be winning this combat, which again is huge for him. So he's going to get a total of 4 Solari back, and with the Signet Ring, he's going to generate all the Solari that he needs for Swordmaster. Okay, if you're going to be harvesting spice like this and going repeat Haga Basin again and again, you might as well have gotten the contracts out of it, right? So this is again another reason why I don't understand why Fearless did not pick up the contracts. There's literally 2 beautiful harvest contracts on the row, and you chose to not buy either of them. Fremkit from Elise Kazir, she picks up a Solari, puts in 2 troops in, and if I was, I mean, she's gonna have what 5 persuasion here, so I'm assuming she probably buys leadership if she gets the opportunity to. I mean, Fearless also is in a position to buy leadership if he wants. Stamon is gonna buy price in the object, right? What is Bob gonna be doing? What is Bob doing? Bob ends up trashing a dagger at tactics. He's gonna be charging the Emperor Alliance, oh the Fremen Alliance. Sorry, 5 persuasion here. Oh, okay. Throne ship shows up. Staban again would be having a great time if he ends up finding throne ship. However, there is um a Piter debris in Elisa hands in the hands of Elisa, so she might decide to buy Piter. She might be able to purchase the 7 coster with Piter, possibly. Bob with 3 persuasion is gonna be buying probably I would say wheels, right? Given that he has keys to power, he probably wants some sort of emperor as well, access, spy access. Or does he go for wheels and a space time floating? No, he just goes for wheels. Okay, makes sense. By the way, Oral Agent buys in high places and puts the spy on Haga Basin because he wants to go worming. I think that's a right play. I think that's a great play from him. Let's see what happens. Okay, and the combat is definitely a wormable combat. Our Legend can literally reveal for both convincing, and Piter Debris and have 7 persuasion to buy Throne Ship, which is huge. Priceless instantly finds his price is an object, which is insane for him. Bob is I don't even know what's happening in Bob's hand. I mean, he has all these beautiful cards, but they're just so anti-synergetic. He has Keys to Power, which is not online right now. He has Ecological Testing Station, which is just Fremen access. Like he has all these cards that have all these great have beautiful card art on them, but they don't actually do anything if you look at them. Anyways, enough about Bob. Let's go to Fearless here. What does Fearless do? Fearless does have his I mean, there is still a Harvest 4 contract on the row. I don't know. Like, if I was Fearless here, I'm snap picking up the Harvest 4 contract, right? Like, I might consider maybe going Siege. I mean, do you think you're gonna get Haga? I mean, even if you do get Haga, are you ever placing the combat? He's going Dutiful. Is he planning on going shipping? Is that what the plan is? I don't fully know. Huge, huge. This is going to be very nice from RL Agent because he's going to stack up on these Harvest 4 contracts and he's probably going to Harvest 4 at some point in the game. Maybe even at Deep Desert. Even if he Harvests 4 at Deep Desert for a +0, he still has the option to, get not only is it 4 spice for him, it would also be 4 spice and 7 Solari and a spy. So which is completely worth the water, by the way. He also blocks Bob from his keys to power in the case that Bob did find his diplomacy to go and dutiful service and then playing his Seek ally in playing his what's the card called? Keys to power. But he plays diplomacy last round, so that was probably never gonna happen. He has ecological testing station. Does he go to siege or does he go to Fremkit? He seems like he's gonna go to he's gonna go to refinery. Okay. This also makes sense from Bob. Bob is gonna prioritize Swordmaster here, which is fine. But that also opens up lines for Priceless to get Swordmaster because if Priceless goes to something like Eric Heen, then Price gets Swordmaster. But the problem is, even if Price goes to Eric Heen, he doesn't really have another action to take. I guess he does because he's gonna draw a card at Eric Heen, then go Swordmaster, and then probably gonna reveal a Price as an object for the Solari, unless he wants to play Price as an object for the Solari, or sorry, he wants to play Price as an object to just for like a faction bump. I don't either or is fine. 2 Solari and reveal is usually considered good, but we'll see what Price does here. Does he prioritize Swordmaster by going Eric Keen? Does he prioritize just you having Swordmaster for next round because he's gonna have like 6 Solari at least? Let's see what happens. I mean, does he even go like something like Assembly Hall, right? Because he has a spy there, he gets a card draw from going Assembly Hall. That's definitely an option. Is there ever a world where Priceless can maybe pick up something off the row into his hands? Oh, you know what I've just realized. Not Priceless. Fearless actually wants to buy Junction headquarters. That's why he's pushing up so hard on the spacing track. Okay, ouch. Price is unfortunate. Okay, that is probably not. That was the only dead card in Price's hands. Okay, gonna go Assembly Hall. He's gonna buy Nav Chamber. Takes the bump up on spacing. Okay, I guess now this makes a lot more sense to why he is playing so hard for spacing and getting his Solari this way instead of doing the normal play, which was to get contracts. I don't fully understand, but that's fine. He's gonna probably buy Junction headquarters here. Deep Desert, sorry, Haga Basin from RL Agent. He's gonna be double worming. Sorry, he's gonna worm this combat. He's probably gonna place, I would assume, second in this combat by the looks of it, unless somehow Priceless wants to give him first place, which actually he might be doing unintentionally. So now, actually, you know what? Price is an interesting situation here. Does Price actually go Assembly Hall? Oh wait, hold up. Actually, I just realized Fearless could buy either Junction Headquarters or Throne Ship. The question is, which one does he buy? Junction Headquarters could net him a point. Throne Ship is a point. I mean, it literally gives him a bump up on Emperor, which is half a point, and it gives him future intrigues, and it gives him access to most of the faction spaces. I don't know if I was Fearless. I mean, you've already committed so hard for the spacing, so it's like you might go for Junction. But then again, like nobody else is probably gonna buy Junction from you, so it's probably gonna stay there. So you can always just buy Junction next round. Okay, sure, this also makes sense. But I really like just going contract heavy and like because the thing is, if you force yourself into a Junction line, then you kind of have to try to get intrigues and stuff. He is in the lead. Like it's not a bad idea because he is in the lead. Oh, by the way, so Bob does not go Swordmaster. Bob goes High Council. Okay, so this gives Priceless the opportunity to just go into something like Assembly Hall and just buying a Spice of Slow on reveal and another contract on reveal and getting Swordmaster next round because he's gonna have 8 persuasion. I think Priceless is maybe considering playing his Priceless object, which I don't really like. I mean, to be fair, it's a faction bump, right? Don't get me wrong, it is a faction bump at the end of the day, but I think the reveal effect of maybe getting Swordmaster next round is probably better for him. Because it looks like if he's probably going to be placing second in this combat, which is going to get him the water. You know what's crazy? If Arl's, I mean, Arl's going to find a way to get first in this combat, right? Because he's going to have a dagger on reveal. And that dagger on reveal is going to get him enough to get first in this combat. And he's going to take 2 bumps on spacing, which is going to and he's going to probably buy 2 more contracts. I would assume the espionage contract. To be fair, Price could deny the espionage contract from him. I would assume that's probably what he's going to be doing, especially with Price and Object, because at some point he probably wants to be playing Price and Object to espionage and probably purchasing a Spice Slope into his hands. So Bob is going to have 7 persuasion here. Little does he know, the rest of the table also has 7 persuasion. So, oh, is this an early reveal for Throne Ship? Ah, okay, all right, makes sense. Don't hate it. I would have maybe considered going Assembly Hall, but also at the same time, like he is Staban Tuig, right? Being Staban Tuig has its advantages because, well, first of all, as Staban Tuig, you have the opportunity to have a small deck size, meaning cards that you buy off the row you see more often. So this does make sense, and it gives him Emperor access, which is like a pseudo diplomacy in a way, right? It gives him access to all the spaces that he needs. It gives him Solarian Reveal, which he can use to pair with like Price no Object, using the Solarian from reveal. He can use the Solarian reveals from Throne Ship to actually use for Price and Object to buy Spice of Slows or buy other cards off the row. What? Okay, hold up. Fearless just ended up buying Unsworn Loyalty and didn't buy Junction Headquarters, and RL Agent bought Junction Headquarters instead. Okay, so Bob is okay. Yeah, Bob's gonna buy I Will Leave, and his Bob was gonna buy I mean, he bought some fragments to pair with his ecological testing station. So this is crazy. Bob buys, I believe, and Southern Elders. So he's hammering this like Benny and Fremen stuff. I don't fully understand what Fearless is doing here. I mean, I'm sure he has justification for it. Buying Arrakis Revolt and Unstoring Loyalty instead of buying Junction Headquarters, I think was just an insane miss. Especially the fact that Junction Headquarters has been buffed, right? You get 2 persuasion on reveal instead of 1, and a water and a troop. So I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, if you're gonna commit so hard for the spacing alliance, you might as well justify it by buying Junction Headquarters. Like, I don't understand. Desert Power over price an object, doesn't go contracts, and then he goes for the spacing alliance, doesn't buy Junction. Like, I feel like his plays have been kind of anti-synergetic. Um, but I guess he has a clear plan to win some combats, which again might not be easy because Price has commanders, and I don't know. I mean, Price is probably gonna be winning some combats with his troops and Arakeen flag and a lot of commanders. Like, I don't know if Fearless is gonna be winning the combat. I mean, he has both of the warm cards, right? Which is, I mean, great in a way, but all right, we'll see. Oral Agent opens this round with Junction Headquarters. I mean, he also has. I don't know what Arl is doing here. He would probably go Spice Refinery, I would assume, right? Maybe I would probably think Spice Refinery to kind of force RL, not RL, Price to go Swordmaster. But the problem is, like, if Price does go Swordmaster, which he most likely will go Swordmaster, RL has never seen Swordmaster anyways, so it doesn't even matter. Like, I mean, the thing is, Bob is pretty happy because Bob gets Swordmaster next round, right? Uh, if I was Bob here, I'm probably gonna go Fremkid. I do have he has high council, so he can probably start getting like spices slows. Is that too slow? Is that I don't know. Has anybody gotten a match? Oh, okay. Only Fearless is a match. RL plays Junction Headquarters, by the way. Gets the 3 Solari for his harvest contract. Oh, it was a 3 Solari harvest contract. It was a 3 spice harvest contract, not a 4. Jeez, I am so blind. Okay. So, RL's gonna complete some spot. He's gonna get a spy down. Gonna get some Solari. He puts aside his card, which I believe was uh oh, he wants to buy a spices, right? 5, 7, 8. It seems like he's gonna go for a spices slow, right? He's gonna have in high places for 5 persuasion, a convincing argument for 7, and then a recon for 8. And I assume he's probably gonna draw a card at either like espionage or secrets or somewhere somehow. He's gonna draw a card. And he's gonna hope that the card that he draws is not a dagger. And maybe buys a spices slow. He could double draw at Arakeen, or sorry, double draw at espionage, and maybe buy spices slow and space time folding. But the problem is, like, does he really want to contest the spacing alliance? Like, Fearless is already so far ahead. Like, in order for RL to contest the spacing alliance, he has to put in a lot of effort for it, just to pull off Junction like maybe once. Which I don't know if it's worth it for him, but I'd like the pit Junction pickup. I mean, it's a great card, right? You get a lot of persuasion on real, gives you water and a troop, which is nice. Bob goes Fremkid. He ends up taking the alliance. He gets a water back. He ends up putting both troops in, it seems. Okay, for this specific combat, interesting. Fearless, by the way, has no interest in getting hooks anytime soon. Maybe he can probably go hooks this round and maybe go Haga afterwards. He does also have a nice little dispatch and envoy in his hands. Maybe he can go to accept contract with that dispatch and envoy. And maybe draw some cards. Let's see. What does Priceless do here? Does Priceless go Swordmaster? I mean, he doesn't have to. He can probably wait it out, right? And in the case that he gets ambushed on Swordmaster by, like, I don't know, somehow Bob gets 6 Solari with like a backed by Chom plus contingency plan, then he just gets Swordmaster for cheaper. So he's never sad about it. So he can always greet it, unless somehow Bob can like false orders him and backed by Chom and play contingency plan. But Bob unfortunately does not have 3 intrigues. Okay, Price is gonna go for this combat. It is a match for him. I like this play. Goes Arakeen, puts in a commander, which is fair enough. He finds Signa Ring. Unfortunately, Signa Ring does not have enough spice to actually generate him Solari. But the thing is, does he really need Solari? I don't know. Spice generator from Hasimir. Does he want a high council? Is that what the line is? I don't know why Hasimir wouldn't just go Haga Basin. I mean, you have so many cards in your deck that just give you worms. You literally have both of the cards that give you worms. Why would you not go Siege? I'm so confused. Why not Siege? Because, like, you might be able to see Haga not this round, maybe next round? Unless you don't want to go Haga right now. I guess maybe you just want to play aside your... Oh, by the way, he goes... RL Agent goes High Council. Going back to Fearless, what is he planning? I guess he's maybe going to a faction space with Dispatch and Envoy? Okay, sure, fine. What is Bob doing? Bob's gonna go... Oh, Bob's gonna go Haga Basin. He's gonna spawn a worm. Okay. Bob seems to be collecting the rainbow. he has these negotiators. He's gonna buy the Signet Ring tech and get another Signet, and he's gonna use another Signet Ring. Okay, sure. He's gonna get another negotiator down. So I guess in a way it's like a pseudo free tech. Actually, no, it was a free tech because he just spent his negotiators buying it. Fair enough. So I guess Bob's trying to place what second in this combat. Well, not that he has a choice, right? He's probably guaranteed to play second in this combat. I mean, priceless just go Swordmaster, right? Unless you want to somehow delay Swordmaster and maybe go like pick up the High Council contract. There's no way you did that, right? Surely you just go Swordmaster. Goes to the Signet Ring though. Interesting. Yeah, he's gonna go Swordmaster. Well, at least he's hovering over it, and he chooses to go Swordmaster. He's choosing between, I believe he's choosing between Signet Ring and his dagger. And I believe playing with his dagger might be better because he might at least retain the persuasion to buy a better card. The other thing is like his Signet Ring actually him playing Signet Ring or dagger actually has no effect because his Signet Ring can't somehow it can't generate a spice anywhere because Haga has been blocked and Imperial has also been blocked. So I mean, the thing is, he can always just throw a spy down on something like Imperial Basin, because Haga Basin has kind of been blocked by RL Asian, which I think was a great play by him, not just for the fact that he wants to go Worms, but also because it's a block on Staban, and Staban is having kind of a good game, and RL kind of noticed that. So well played from RL there. Price is still having a deep think about this. I mean, oh, I think maybe Price is thinking maybe play a Signet Ring to like maybe play Signet Ring to privilege. What? Huh? I am so confused. Okay, this is gonna be a espionage play. All right, so he did want to draw some cards. Okay, and he wanted to get some faction access going. Fearless having a interesting round. He's Arl's probably gonna. Oh, he's not gonna recall for a spy. He's just gonna buy Stilgar here. Interesting. Okay, I might have considered maybe going for the Spice Slow. Oh, Bob actually has a chance now. He found Public Spectacle. However, he doesn't have a spy down. Next round, Bob is gonna probably play Diplomacy to Siege, I would assume. Also, Price doing this kind of screws the rest of the table from getting Swordmaster because Price gets Swordmaster next round, meaning Fearless doesn't get Swordmaster next round. Bob doesn't get it next round, so Price would probably go into round 7 with Swordmaster alone. So I guess the Price aiming for a 2 persuading card, and he finds a 2 persuading card. Not only does he finds the best 2 persuading card in his deck, he gets the Spices of this round. Um, oh, okay, so Fearless is building a Bashar and leadership deck, which is huge. He's gonna so I assume Price is probably gonna buy a Spices. So he reveals 5 Solari on reveal, by the way, which is crazy. He ends up buying the High Council contract on accept contract, obviously. Finds the persuasion. I mean, is a Price considering anything but a Spices here? No way, right? Okay, he's gonna buy Space Down Folding, which I think is correct. Space Down Folding is fantastic. But yeah, and he's gonna win this combo. Just gonna get in the Benny bump. He's gonna set up for like espionage at some point. Get some spice and slows going. He gets his match, which is huge. Bob gets second in this combat. He gets double intrigues because he has a worm, and his intrigues are actually not bad. I mean, he gets a spy down, right? And a spy is huge for him because well, he does this public spectacle. He also happens to draw wheels within the wheels. All right, so Bob has. I mean, we know Bob's next hand is gonna be, or next couple of cards is like um Southern Elders. He does have Southern Elders next round. So the question is, does he want to draw a card right now and try to find Southern Elders? But the problem is, like, even if he does find Southern Elders, where is he going to try to take Southern Elders to? Does he want to go to something like, I don't know, Secrets with Southern Elders? Probably not. Hmm. What does Bob do here? I mean, There's a lot of things that Bob could do here. I mean, Fearless stocking up the spy on space on Emperor has been kind of been hurting Bob here because, well, the Emperor spy would have been nice because then he would have been able to pull off wheels for the actual Solari. Again, the extra Solari doesn't actually change much. Hmm. He still is gonna go to dutiful service. He's gonna get rid of he's gonna get rid of mercenaries and finds strategic push. Okay, well, probably not the ideal card draw for him. Nevertheless, it's not bad. He's gonna play. It looks like he's gonna be playing his sleeper unit for just to get rid of 4 intrigues. He's gonna put the spy on. Does it go on siege? Does it go on accept contract? Where does it go, Bob? Looks like it's gonna go on siege. Okay. And I would assume he's probably gonna be playing his wheels on wheels to say something like siege tower and get some water down. And he's gonna rail for 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 persuasion. Unless he misses unless he draws a dagger, which would kind of be unfortunate. He can also worm this combat actually if he goes to siege, right? If he goes to siege and recalls a card, he draws a card. He gets Spice of Slow most likely, and he actually reveals for 2. He reveals for 2 water in this case, and a spice and probably a Spice of Slow enough for 9 persuasion, and then maybe can decide to worm the combat. But again, it's super risky because, well, Price acts after him, and Price is gonna have Swordmaster. So not only will Price be seeing Blah Blah Blah's reveal, he'll also have an action to determine if he wants to win the combat. Now, interesting question here. Does Price want to go High Council or does he want to go Swordmaster? Does Price actually want to go pick up another contract? Because he does have. Is that secure? Yeah, he's secure Spice Trade in his hands, doesn't he? Yeah. Secure Spice Trade. Um, I don't know. Are they playing the right mod? Did they play the right mod? I think they played the right mod. Yeah, yeah. I think secure Spice Trade should be normal. I think this is fine. He's gonna play false orders or the new false orders, I guess. He's gonna make RL Agent move his spy. So they are definitely playing the correct mod because False Orders has been modified back to its original glory. Where does RL put his spy down? That's the question. Maybe on. Wow, all the good spaces have been blocked. Like all the good spaces have been blocked, right? I mean, maybe it's probably just on Research Station, right? Just try to maybe get a spot on Research Station at some point. He's gonna go accept contract. Finally, our friend Fearless decides that he wants to go pick up contracts for some tempo. Picks up the High Council contract. He actually, if he somehow sees High Council this round, he would be in position to get a Spice and Slow. Oral Agent. What does Oral Agent do here? He has all these contracts that he probably wants to complete because he does have Chomp Transports, right? So he also got blocked on Secrets, which is probably what he wanted to do, I would assume. But you never know. Yeah, Arl kind of wanted to go. I mean, Arl would have been happy with going to Secrets because he gets a card draw. He actually gets 2 card draw, not just 1. He gets 2 because he completes a contract, so he draws a card from it too. Wow. So that block on Secrets is kind of huge. I mean, I'm sure Price just wanted it for the persuasion. Anyways, like he probably just wants to go Swordmaster and draw a card off of this. Prepare the way. Yeah, Arl's in a pretty tough spot here. I don't know what he does here. Uh, I mean, if I was RL, I'm thinking just go like espionage at this point, and maybe you can come around to secrets later, or maybe just go Arakeen. I don't hate going to Arakeen because you do have a contract there, right? Is that Arakeen contract or is that Spice Refinery? Oh, sorry, that's Spice Refinery. Maybe just go Spice Refinery then, right? Just draw 2 cards, get like Swordmaster money, or even like a revisit High Council money to like drop ships. Either or being okay. Yeah, he's gonna have a deep think here. I mean, if I was RL, I might consider maybe just playing my Piter. I mean, it's an intrigue right now, right? It's an intrigue. It's some card draw. Should be okay. You also have the opportunity to go privilege. Well, actually, you don't have the opportunity to go privilege, assuming like if you don't draw any green. Looks like he's gonna go for it. He's gonna probably put aside his diplomacy. Yeah, makes sense. He's gonna go Spice Refinery. Yep, complete both contracts. That's, yeah, kind of what I would have done as well at this point. Draws green access, huge. Okay, so he has the option to go into privilege if he doesn't like his contract, that is, or if he doesn't like his intrigue, that is. And I don't know if he likes that intrigue. It's a pretty nice intrigue. The thing is, this combat is a match for him, right? So there is a world maybe Arl can choose to just go High Council revisit for dropships. I don't hate that line, to be fair. He goes dropshipping. Okay, so Bob might actually try to win the combat here with, like, because this combat is a match for Bob. Okay, Stawan is gonna revisit High Council here. He does not want to get Swordmaster. Interesting. Okay. Why? Like, what are all these troops doing for you, Price? I guess you want to keep the. I guess you want to keep the. You want to keep the Solari so you can eventually go price an object into like a Spice Missile. Is that what the plan is? I assume he just draws 2 cards here on Privilege or even High Council, wherever he goes. Assembly Hall? What? Wow, he's thinking about like every space except Swordmaster here. I guess, you know what, in a way it does make sense. The only thing is if he draws a card from Prepare the Way right now and it's priced an object, because then that would kind of ruin his game. Because I believe he's trying to play prices an object to like Dutiful Service or Delivers or Dutiful Service or Secrets or something next round, and actually buy the spices into his hands. And he's gonna end up choosing to go High Council. He's gonna only draw 1 card. He's not gonna recall the spy there. He's gonna recall from Secrets. Actually, now this gives RL the ability to go Secrets. Does he take it? I mean, to be fair, it's a contract completion. It's a spices slow guaranteed. And, next round he can probably go something like Haga or something and complete for Harvest 4. Assuming he puts aside like a Dune. But actually, both of his Dunes are in his hand. So if he draws like 2 cards, it'd be difficult. Where does RL go actually? Oh my god, I just realized. Oh my lord. RL, not RL. Price just found a 2 Solar Intrigue at High Council, so he can actually still get Swordmaster and draw some cards. Which is crazy. Actually, he was always gonna get Swordmaster because he gave Fearless the opportunity to get Swordmaster. Fearless actually had no choice but to get Swordmaster because he wanted to originally go High Council, but that got kind of blocked. So Arl, are you gonna go for the? What are you gonna do here? Are you gonna go for the gather support and dropship play? It looks like that's what he's gonna be doing, and maybe trying to win the combat. I would assume. Looks like it. He's gonna throw a commander in here. Makes sense. He wants to win this combat, but thing is, he's not winning this combat. Bob has him covered. Bob has him covered, smothered, and dusted. It does not matter. Bob has 3, 6, 8 swords that he can deploy, and he's gonna go to 18 strength, and this combat does match for him. The thing is, Bob winning this combat is actually bad for the rest of the table because that means nobody else is gonna be contesting Priceless in the next combat. By the way, 2 water on reveal, huge, and a spice of slow. So, as expected, Bob ended up going to Siege. Already 2 reveals for 3 water, huge stuff. 9 persuasion, spices slow. He does not want to win this combat, it seems, or he does not want to worm the combat. He still wants to win the combat, but probably just doesn't want to worm it. So actually, are we in a spot where we're gonna tie here? Oh my god. Bob isn't gonna worm this combat, meaning he's gonna put in 3. Oh my god, anti-boss or training depot. Okay, wow. Train Depot from Priceless here, so he's gonna have some daggers to play. He finds a Spiceless, which is probably not ideal. If I was Priceless, I might consider going. Okay, what is this like? I feel like Fearless has gone Haga base in like 4 rounds already. Like he went Haga base in like 2 times for +0. Um, wow. Okay. So Priceless, it's on to you. Where do you go? Do you go Duel of Supplies? Do you go Secrets maybe? Just for like some intrigues? I don't hate going Secrets, because next round you can go to Espionage. Price could also go to Imperial Basin to deploy some troops into combat because he wants some spice. Either or is fine. I would maybe just consider Secrets for the intrigues. It's 2 intrigues. I can't say no to that. But it's also like 2 spice. It's hard to say no to 2 spice as well. Oh, it's 3 spice, I guess. It's 3 spice for 1 troop, and it's 1 intrigue. But the faction mob on Secrets is I feel like might be better for him. right? Because it gives him so much more utility. Like the secrets, the 2 intrigues on secrets not only gives him 2 intrigues, but also it gives him the ability to get one more intrigue the next time he picks up the alliance. Okay, so what are we going to be seeing in this combat is the question. Are we going to see RL take it down, or are we going to see Bob take it down? Because I assume Bob probably charges RL first, right? He probably just plays the 2 solar intrigue to tie RL. If RL plays the combat intrigue, which he most likely will because the combat is a match for RL, then Bob will just not play his 3 sword intrigue. I assume that's how things are going to be going here. Unless Bob risks it. Unless Bob says that I don't believe RL has a combat intrigue, and then he plays the 3 sword intrigue first, and then RL does play a 4 sword intrigue, and then Bob would just be stuck with a 2 sword intrigue that he can't do anything with. Yeah, it looks like RL's probably no, RL Price is probably just gonna go secrets here, which I would have probably done the same thing. Yeah, he's gonna draw 2 intrigues here, or draw 1 intrigue. By the way, finds Change Allegiances, the original version of Change Allegiances, none of the community mod. So 5 persuasion from Fearless. He's probably not. Oh, is that a completable card? That's a contract, right? Is he gonna complete 4 contracts though? Price? I don't know. He's definitely gonna complete 3 of them. I don't know if he's gonna complete the fourth. Does he want to? He looks like he's gonna buy it. Okay, he's gonna try to go for the contract quest. But I mean, he's literally only 2 contracts away from being able to pull it off, though. But it's definitely possible. Next round, Fearless is gonna be going to something like. Oh, he's gonna play the 2 sword intrigue first, and watch RL play a combat intrigue, and unfortunately is gonna be having to pass. So RL takes this combat down. He's gonna go up to 6 points. Bob is stuck on 4. I think Bob maybe should have maybe warmed the combat because the 4 spice is might be more important for him. Nah. I mean, also you have to understand, like I'm also from playing from a different perspective. I'm playing from the perspective that like, oh, I have everybody's view and everybody's intrigues. So if I was sitting in maybe just in Bob's seat, I might have done exactly what Bob did, right? We also know why Bob wanted to win the combat because he also has public spectacle. So yeah, Bob not winning the combat there is an unfortunate like event for him because well now he's not going to be able to play public spectacle. As a matter of fact, he's literally not able to play any damn card because his I believe would have been great on reveal to get troops. Are we going round 7 here, or are we going round 7 or round 8 here? I actually have no idea because Price is gonna if Price wins this combat, right? Oh my god, and the combat matches for Priceless. Oh my lord. If Priceless wins this combat, that gets him up to uh 1, 2, 3 points, what's up to 8. If he goes to secrets, that's 9. And if he finds a Spiceless though, that's 10. Oh my god, a bump up on Emperor would also be 10 points. Jeez. Oh my god, Price might actually win this game right now on round 7. And the thing is, nobody's gonna contest him in this game because, well, everybody else is too weak. Unless somehow Fearless pulls up like a million swords. I mean, he does have Bashar in his like I believe in his draw pile still, so he could draw into like Imperial Bashar and leadership, but then again, that's not gonna be enough swords against Price's like infinite intrigues here. Infinite, not only infinite intrigues, but also infinite troops, deployed commanders. Like this is all gonna be really, really hard for for Fearless to overcome here. Which is why I thought maybe Fearless should have gone for like something like Junction Headquarters there instead of having to force himself to buy more worm cards. The question is, does Price find a way to end it this round? And if I was Price, I might just consider opening secrets. I don't hate it. I'd consider opening maybe secrets. I would consider maybe opening uh Emperor for the spy. I like secrets for the secrets for the draw is kind of nice. You draw a card, you get 2 intrigues. You can is there one maybe you can or Price can maybe buy a spice of slow with 9 persuasion? Is there a way we can get like spice refinery, put like a spy on oh he can't even put a spy on green. Ah. Okay. Oh, you know what I think he's gonna be doing? I think he's gonna play distraction first, and then he's gonna recall a spy from green to put the spy back on green. Ah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. And then he's gonna go to espionage with his person object. He's gonna proc his contingency plan, which is then gonna, yeah, I think that's what he's doing here. He's gonna play distraction to put a spy on probably Swordmaster. It doesn't even matter. He can probably just recall the spy from green. He's gonna spend one spice to get 3 more Solari, right? Yep. He's just clarifying to the rest of the table how he's gonna be doing that. He spends one spice for 3 Solari, and now he has the option of going to Espionage with his price as an object, getting him up to 7 Solari, and then using his contingency plan to get him up to 9 Solari, which is gonna purchase him a Spice Slow, which is gonna put him up to a total of, well, he's gonna go to 7 points, right? After that action, and then he's gonna win this combat for 10, I would assume, pretty easily. Hmm. I guess Fearless is trying to count how many swords he would need to beat Priceless here, and let me tell you, Fearless, it's gonna be a lot. Okay, I mean, here we go. Another Harvest Space from Fearless here. He might want to go Highliner. Looks like that might be the plan, but again, it's gonna be a weak plan because, well, I think Price hasn't covered anyways. It's Arl's turn. Arl goes. I mean, if I was Arl, I'd maybe go something like Research Station. I mean, he has 2 influences that he probably needs to pick up. So I don't know. Except Contract Research Station is not a bad idea, but also Bob has 3 water. Maybe Bob goes Research Station first, and I feel like Bob might have to go might have to go Research Station because his draw is kind of pathetic. He probably wants to do something with that draw. Hmm. Also having a deep think here. I mean, I guess he's just trying to put together the game's ending because I'm sure there's some sort of table talk going on where Arlo is probably telling Priceless or telling Fearless like, hey Fearless, do you have the combat? Because if you don't have the combat, then the game's ending. Arlo's also deciding what card to put aside. It seems okay. Sometimes when it gets like this late in the round, I just don't I just don't bother putting a card aside, or I just put aside like a spicy slow because I'm like I don't want to force myself into like a specific line for one extra resource when okay, Bob's gonna go Fremkit instead of Research Station. Interesting. Okay. Anyways, going back to the Lisa thing, is like I just don't want to force myself into one specific line. If a change of board state happens, like a new contract shows up, like the special contract or something, I might consider buying that instead, right? New tech shows up, I might want to go buy that tech instead. There's a lot of lines that I want to consider before I put aside like a second card, especially in like the later rounds where it's a lot more crucial because the game's about to end. So Bob finds Sardaukar Standard, which I mean, how's he gonna trash that card though? Hmm. Oh, is Price gonna go privilege instead of espionage? Okay, maybe he's considering going into privilege. But his injuries are so nice. Why would he want to get rid of them? I mean, he literally procs secure spice trade the minute he goes to espionage, right? Because he can just put a secure spice. He can just put a spice slow into his hands. He definitely wants to change allegiance at some point, right? Is there a world maybe Arl can? Sorry, Price can end it without the combat? Because he gets a bump up on Benny. He gets the spice slow, which puts him up to 7. Change allegiances for the Emperor bump would be 8. And then that's kind of it though. Okay, that's kind of it. He's having a long, hard think about this. And it looks like it's gonna be a privilege. Okay, he's gonna go privilege here. Draws 2 cards. Not ideal. And now in a way he gives up Spice and Slow, but also he doesn't completely give up Spice and Slow. Oh, what did he just buy? He bought Forbidden Weapons. Ah, okay. Does he think he's gonna not get one of the friendships or one of the alliances? Huh. Okay. He doesn't break the wall, which makes sense because well, he does have hooks. I don't know actually what Price is doing here. I mean, he can always just put a. He doesn't have to put a spicy slow in his hands. He can just put like a prepare the way or something into his hands, and that would also equally work well. I think Price actually just wants the extra. He also doesn't cycle an intrigue. Oh no, he does. He cycled contingency plan. Oh, okay, all right. So he does. He gives up 3 swords here to find depart for Arrakis, which is objectively more swords, but he doesn't have the troops to deploy those troops. Sorry, he doesn't have troops to deploy. With depart for Arrakis, so it would kind of be bad for him anyways. I mean, if you're setting up to win this combat, you better highliner, right? Fearless. I think that's like the only line, unless you're considering just playing for second here and just hoping that Price ends it so you can get second. I mean, if it works, it works, right? But it looks like okay, he went Sardaukar. Okay, not even buying the commander here. Well, not that he has a salary to buy it anyway. Um, okay, so our relation goes to Privilege himself, buys sub-destroying messages, gets rid of opportunism, gets another intrigue. Oh, that's a nice intrigue to be found by RL agent there. He ends up discarding. I would assume he probably discards his Dune and his Spice and Slow to try to find a Spice Slow on his own. Right, that's probably the line. What is Bob gonna do? I mean, Bob is having a pretty rough game. It's like everything you think. Every time you think Bob's gonna have like a decent chance at this game, he ends up drawing pretty bad or gets blocked. Like he got blocked on the refine. He got blocked by not getting the refinery combat win. He couldn't go to Emperor for his keys to power early on. He, I mean that single handedly stopped Bob from getting like two or something points, right? That last round, because then he at least gets espionage, or he gets spy down, which probably gets him another point. Yeah, unfortunate game for Bob. Um, that's assuming the game's ending. By the way, we still have no idea. Invasion ships from blah 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 here. He's gonna deploy in this combat because obviously Fearless is not doing his job. Unless there's a world maybe Fearless can do his job and go like Eric Keen, deploy some troops into this combat, and somehow take the combat away from Priceless, but is super difficult, right? Price has 2 actions. But one of those actions is guaranteed to go to espionage. I would assume that's one of them is guaranteed to go espionage. To be fair, it's not. It's actually not guaranteed, right? Because there is a world maybe he can just play something like change allegiances to go down on um Emperor to go up on Benny. But no, it looks like he's probably gonna go espionage here. Draw a couple of cards. Yep, makes sense. And what does he put into his hand? Probably a Perpedo, I would assume, just for some access. Oh, he finds a Perpedo anyway. Oh my god, he finds all the persuasion he needs. Um, he gets 3 Solari from his completing the contract. He has a total of 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 persuasion. Okay. So his recon would be considered a pretty good choice to say something like refinery for obviously a commander. Hmm. Okay. Oh, he's gonna put he puts a spy on Fremen, it seems. Yeah, it looks like the spy's gonna go on Fremen. Because I think he's gonna buy the spy card so that he can go to Fremen and then be able to still pull off the spy. Yeah, because then he can change allegiances down on Fremen to go up on Emperor to take the alliance, or do it the other way. Oh my god! And he finds what did he just found retreat 3 for a bump. Jeez. Okay. Well, there's no way Price is gonna be losing this game. I mean, he's gonna win in this combat pretty comfortably, I would say. I mean, he has forbidden weapons, he has training depot, he has commanders. It's nowhere. It's not even close. I mean, Bob's probably gonna warm this combat, right? He's gonna go up to 16. He's currently on 14, right? He's gonna go up to 16 strength, but he's gonna give Price one more sword because of his fierce. Okay, he's gonna play change allegiances. Where does he go up on? Why would he? No, not Benny. It'd probably go up on maybe Fremen for the bump up on Fremen. Huh. I don't know. Maybe he just maybe he wants to. There's nowhere else he would go down to. I mean, if you've shown the intrigue, you might as well. Oh, he looks like okay. Maybe he's gonna just toggle on the Benny friendship or the Benny alliance to get another alliance or to get another intrigue. Okay. Oh, he takes the Emperor bump. Okay, he takes the Emperor bump. I get that. This also works, right? Yeah, I think this is fine as well. Shipping. So Fearless is for sure playing for second here because unless he hasn't realized the price is ending the game, then I don't know how to help him. He ends up trashing Desert Power finally. Okay, I guess it's done its job. You know, he's gonna Ixion Probe is being played from RL Agent here. Typically, he's gonna get rid of the Dune and the Spices. So let's see what he draws into. Oh, draws into his in high places, which is probably gonna be a point for him at Secrets. It's actually gonna be maybe 2 points for him at Secrets. No, it's just 1 point because he doesn't have 4 contracts completed. Now he's gonna two more cards here. Let's see. He finds his 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 persuasion. Oh, but he does have self-destroying messages for 9. Ah, okay. Oh, he also draws one more card anyway. Um, is that correct? Oh yeah, because he has the Bene Gesserit in play. Makes sense. 11 persuasion and a spy on reveal for Bob here. Bob's probably gonna break the wall. He's probably gonna. I mean, he has to, right? Because if he wins this combat, does he end the game? He gets to 9 points, isn't he? He only gets to 9 points. He doesn't have second spy down. Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna look to win it. It seems that he hasn't realized the price is ending it, or maybe he has realized and is just playing for fourth. What? That's not the Bob I know. Okay, Spice Refinery from RL, not Spice Refinery from Priceless here instead of Arakeen. Oh, actually, Arakeen and Spice Refinery both do the exact same because they're still going to be equally. They're going to be the same amount of troops because he doesn't have any more troops left in his garrison in his supply to deploy anyway. So yeah, I mean, I don't hate going to refinery, just spawning a commander makes sense. Yeah, Spice Refinery here, and then he's gonna throw in 3 troops, a total of 6 strength right now. 7 strength with the Fierce Commander, obviously, and he's gonna have 2 more swords on reveal, which is gonna put out to +9. Okay, a nice little 8 sword reveal there from Fearless, which is huge. Um, Spice was found from RL Agent. Priceless himself finds the Spice slow. He takes the bump down on Bene Gesserit. He ends up taking 3 more swords. He does not want to place. He does not want to retreat for a bump because, well, that bump does absolutely nothing for him anymore. Not only that, he kind of if he wins the combat, he wins the game. And it looks like it's gonna be passing all around. And Priceless is gonna be taking this combat down with another endgame entry of Secure Spice Trade. He nerfed Secure Spice Trade. So very well played from Priceless there. I mean, still on Masterclass for sure. Right? I mean, this is definitely one of his stronger games, I would say. Like getting the entries that he got into a price and object. I don't know why Fearless didn't buy price and object, by the way. I think Fearless should have picked up price and object like instantly. I think it's like an S tier card, especially on round 1 or round 2, right? Over actually I think was that round 1 that he bought price and object over um no way. No way he bought price and object. No way he bought Desert Power on round 1 over price and object. Surely he bought something else, right? I'm missing something. I don't know what it was, but very well played from Priceless here. He ends up taking it down. He's going to walk away with 6 points. Second place goes to RL Agent for having 7 points. Third place goes to JB Fearless with 4 Spice tiebreaks against Blah Blah Blah's 6 points and 2 Spice tiebreaks. So very well played across the board. Price is having a really good start, and he was able to convert that start into a beautiful, beautiful win. So very well played. Lacey Kaz had a pretty decent start. Um, he got like Piter, he got like Stilgar, but then I don't know, kind of just like fell apart in the round 7 combat because he targeted round 6 combat. Um, but anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this group of death game, and we'll catch you guys with another video on the Consoles channel. If you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure to like and subscribe for more, and consider becoming a member if you want to support the channel. I also have coaching lessons if you guys are interested in learning better. In learning the game of DUNE Imperium Uprising and getting better at the game, so that you can dominate your games when you play Uprising and Bloodlines. Anyways, with that, we will call it there. Thank you guys for joining me today, and see you guys later. Bye bye.